Thank you very much, Engineer, for the opportunity. It's my pleasure to be here. And thanks, Nana. It's great to see you again. So, previous session, we did look at the power of purpose. And just to look again, we did say that the purpose is the end before the beginning. We were encouraged to reconnect with ourselves, and we should be able to meet with ourselves so we can live our purpose to the God has planned it for us. Today, we'd like to build upon that and see how our could help us bring that purpose into life. So today we're looking at the power of words. We speak every day. We talk about a lot of things every day. Every day we are talking to people. We are talking to our Maker, God, Jehovah. We are talking to ourselves. When a baby is born, actually, the first thing that comes out of the baby's mouth is probably crying. Utter something to communicate something, because at that point the environment is different, but probably the leaves the baby, understands exactly what the baby needs, cuddles the baby, pampers it a little bit, and then the crying eventually ceases. When the baby wakes up, it begins to use certain words, probably something like ma, struggles to bring out something that is within, and it goes on and on. God created us to speak. To you, I am uttering certain words, but how we use those words that matter. One will ask, what are words? There are a lot of definitions about words, but I see it to be everything that is processed in one's thoughts, okay, and then internalized in the heart and comes out of the mouth. So it's something that goes through the head. We think about it. We feed it in there. It's formed in the heart. We also internalize it. And then we get it out. When we look at what happened from the beginning, it says that in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. In the beginning, God started creation of the world with the Word. He created the world. He did say that it was without form, and darkness has hooded over it. Then he spoke the word, let there be light. And he, being the Word, actually manifested in the creation, which is the power of creation. So there was light. Then he parted the waters, the upper waters and then the lower waters, and called the upper waters sky. Then he separated the dry land also from the sea. Now the power of words was manifested. He said it and then it happened. Now we are children of God. And if we have been created in his likeness, in the image of God, and God speaks and it happens, and he's giving us the power to do so, then it means that the words we utter, we need to be careful, because there is power in it. There is power in the tongue that is in our mouth. Power to create life, power to destroy, power to kill, power to hurt, power to heal, power to encourage. So then it brings us to the point where we need to be careful about what we say. I'd like to also pick from Proverbs 8 verse 21, which says that the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat of its roots. So depending on what you're using your tongue for, the words, whether you are speaking to yourself as an individual, whether you are speaking to somebody, whether somebody is speaking to you and you are receiving it, depending on what you choose to receive, whether you're receiving everything or you receive it, whatever it is, you will eat of the fruit that you receive or you give out. Words can be used constructively to encourage, to build relationships, or it can be used to destroy. And the distraction, you know what it looks like. It can be used to tear people down. It can be used to pull people up. It can be used, like I said, to encourage. Words have power to evoke or stir up emotions that can bring about an action. So as I speak to you, the problem might be something that I would say that will stir up your emotion, that will cause you to probably do something different. That is what words can do. If they are used rightly, it can move mountains. And if they're used wrongly as well, it can set up an entire life ablaze. The words that we speak can go a long way to destroy somebody's life forever. When we look at, I like to do a lot of quotes from the Bible because these are words that we feed on. Okay. When you look at Proverbs 10:19, it says that too much talk leads to sin. So we should be sensible and keep our mouth shut. There are many times that we talk. The fact that we have words in our mouth does not mean we should utter everything. We should know when to say it. Let me take this up because I think where I am, I've observed the protocol right. So when you look at my lips, okay, I'm not talking at the moment. It's it. Probably I don't have anything to say, or I don't have any meaningful thing to say. When I go to sleep, I don't talk. It's time for me to be quiet. As you sit, you are not talking. It's time for you to be quiet. Me standing here, I am talking. It is time for me to talk. Okay, so we need to understand the times and know when to talk and know when not to talk, so it doesn't lead us into trouble. So then our prayer would be that the Lord set a guard over our mouths and then keep watch over our lips, so that we are careful to utter when and when we ought not. If God has given you something to say to somebody and you don't say it, and for that reason that person takes a wrong decision in life, God will ask you. Because he's given each of us our gifts and our talents. In the office or in the workplace, if there is something you need to stand and speak out on behalf of somebody and you don't, and the person wrongly lands in trouble because maybe the person has been wrongly accused, God would ask you. If you need to promote your career in a certain way or to stay relevant so that you would be able to talk about certain achievements of yours and you don't do it, you have stifled your own progress because nobody will see the good things that you are doing. That is the power of words. Now, we apply words in everyday life. Like I said, even babies communicate through the crying at the beginning. In good times, we talk. In bad times, we talk. Every moment, there's something coming out. It helps us in communication in our relationships, all kinds of relationships. In the family, where you have children. In the office, where you have colleagues. Where you have your bosses. Where you have people that work under you. We talk all the time. It helps us to gain understanding, even of ourselves, because we talk to ourselves, right? You find somebody in the bathroom so angry, talking to themselves. You probably will be alone and you just want to concentrate and probably do some meditation. You are talking to yourself. But the question is, what are you telling yourself? When you engage with people, your friends, in the office, when you have a little time, some leisure, what are you talking about? Words are actually gifts. We need to understand that words that we speak, they are gifts. How are you using yours? What are you using your gift for in terms of words? How well are you marketing your product? What are you using the gift for? And when you're marketing your product, are you saying the wrong things just because you want somebody to buy, or you're actually telling what the product is doing? When you have to speak to your team members, how are you instructing them? Proverbs 31:26 says that when she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. It's not only to the virtuous woman, it's to everyone. So how do you communicate with your people for them to understand how to do things right way? Like I said, words are gifts. They are gifts of information. They are gifts of emotions. Just imagine yourself sitting down and then somebody speaking one word to you that changes your situation. You realize that your emotions are all stirred up and you are happy. That is what the word gives. They are also gifts of thoughts and imaginations because it can help you to dream and to achieve higher goals in life. All these words can be either good or bad. How it is applied matters. We use it to relate with each other, and they do carry responsibility, so we need to be careful about the choices. Words are not just words. They can be gifts of love or legacies of damage. So one word spoken to somebody today, maybe to somebody you have never met, would live with the person for a very long time because it would have changed the perception of the person. It would have changed the entire thinking. It will make the person to rethink his life and take the right decision or the wrong decision. Imagine seeing somebody and you saying a wrong thing to that person, and then the person feels humiliated, feels insulted. It may challenge the person positively depending on the individual and the inner strength the person has. So if this person gets challenged because of the abusive word you used, and in future becomes CEO of a number of companies, and probably you don't use your words positively for yourself, and you meet this person in future looking for a job, imagine how you would feel. In that same situation or scenario, imagine how you're going to feel if you said something good to that person and you meet. How is it going to be like? These are words. So it becomes legacies of damage or gifts of love. When we look at Ephesians 4:29, it says that do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but that which is edifying to one another. We do spend a lot of time saying a lot of things. What are we talking about? How is it building our lives? Are we encouraging each other? Are we inspiring each other? Or we are just gossiping, spending time doing unnecessary things, complaining? How is that benefiting us? Because the more you say something to somebody, the more those same words also speak to you as an individual. So if you are not talking about things, so if you're not thinking about things that benefits people in the same way, it will not also benefit you as an individual. What goes around comes around.
Sure.
Psalm 19 verses 14 says that let the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. Whatever it is that we talk about, whatever it is that we think in our hearts, if it is not acceptable to God, of what use is it? Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yeah.
So if things that you think about, which you meditate in your heart, and it comes out of your mouth, if it doesn't glorify God, you would one day give an account of it.
Yes.
There's this saying by Betty A.D., and I read, if we understood the power of our thoughts, we would guard them more closely. If we understood the power of our words, we would prefer silence to almost anything negative. In our thoughts and in our words, we create our own weaknesses and our own strength. You start growing up with it. Now, inferiority complex sets in.
Yeah.
You feel so inferior to your colleagues. You feel that nobody cares about you, nobody loves you. Anything you do, your confidence is even low. You can't even bring yourself to it. And you are growing up. When you're growing up, because of all this, you also begin to hate people. And you also learn how to insult people. What if you become a drug addict? Because you don't even feel loved. All because of words. So you see the words that the mother has created around her and the child has lived what the mother has said. And the child is also giving it to somebody. That is what negative words does. Even just amongst us, you will say something to somebody. You see, your strength may not be like somebody's strength. So when somebody tells you, "Awe ya bua," you may take it lightly. But another person, it will cut deep into the heart of that person. Feel that, me ya bua. Negative words can limit you as a person, because for you already feel you are good for nothing, for example. So then, you are good for nothing. Or probably in the workplace. As for you, you are just there and you are complaining. And you are condemning the place. Me ye jume kra. Na won twa me kampo ye. E jume kra ma bre. O ye dindodo. Na boss say kra. Ye jume kra mo be jume kra ma mtimpo ye me yo. Before the end of the day, you have even condemned the following day. What then happens when there are jobs? I hear no go chomko. Impo mam share extra duty. I join on the bibia ban. On no good your on yeah. She wouldn't get paid.
Yes.
She'll be given the job. What is happening to Adwa? She's growing.
Yes.
She's developing herself. As for you, when you are at so you won't do the job. You may be right in your own space.
Yes.
So the job won't come to you because one can but the day the opportunity comes,
yes,
those words that you have said to yourself, it will hit you back because the opportunity will just pass you by like this. And it will go to Adwa because Adwa is ready. She has grown herself. Now who calls her? Why not limit her? And so you need to be careful also of that. Then there are also positive impacts. You can imagine yourself, we are sitting here. We will open up for discussion. We are sharing. We are encouraging ourselves. We are inspiring ourselves. You get fired up for greater works. Okay, I probably need to rethink this aspect of my life. From today, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to improve upon this. It's greater works. You are firing yourself up. You've been gingered, okay? And what happens? You are happy. And you feel alive because things will be working differently for you because you have taken a personal decision for yourself. You're able to promote your career because you know what to say. You know where to say it. You know what to see with your eyes and not to say. You know how to talk to your boss. Because Bible makes us understand you have to respect those in authority. Sometimes we feel we can talk. We feel we can stand up to those people because they are annoying, because they give too much pressure. Stand up to them and then they will deal with you accordingly. Because God has put them in that place of authority to deal with you. It's in the Bible. Don't joke with it. So not because you can talk, so you should talk. When you are here, I'll defend no baby, and then use it positively to help your growth, not to fight. It doesn't do you any good. You are able to maximize your potential because you know how to talk. There is this saying I probably may not be able to quote rightly. Say, when you say didia, when you in penifo, you see, we are all learning, isn't it? Yes. So you should know how to talk, and you can be able to sit before kings. There are people who look so smallish. So let me use you as an example. See how cute you are looking. I don't want to say you look smallish, but you're looking so cute. Okay. And if you know how to talk, speak the right words, make your point very clear, but respectfully. You should be able to knock at the door of any MD at all, whether he's 20 years old or 60 years old. Knock at the door, sit at the table with him, and then make a very meaningful contribution. It's because of the words, not because of how you look. So words are powerful, and it has that positive impact. It's able to shield you from sin because you have accepted the word, the good words that you hear. Already you are even engaging yourselves with the right people, and you are listening to the right things. So then, like in Psalm 119 verses 11 will say, thy word have I hid in my heart. You know, when we're in Sunday schools, we used to sing a lot of those songs. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Thy word have I hid, thy word have I hid. You know, we have hid that word in our heart that we might not sin against thee. The same way when you have good conversations with people, okay, you are able to get good words from them, and then you internalize it, and then you add it to your life, you practice it. So when you are faced with difficulties, you remember that this is how we discussed, this is what we discussed, and this is how we probably can go about it. And no, this place that I'm going, man, and you have hid yourself from you've hid yourself from sin. You've protected yourself. It shielded you. So it's important that we know what to accept to ourselves. We know what to say to people, and to shield us from sin. And we are able to share with others. When you are happy, when you are fulfilled, when you are successful, because you have practiced good speaking, good words, the use of good words, you are fulfilled already, and you are also sharing with somebody. Okay, because you have gone through it, you have experience. So you're able to share freely. And these are some of the positive things that can happen to us. How then can we use words to our advantage? There's this lady called Angela Tremantenjimo. She's currently the IBM regional head for parts of Africa. Before she got there, she did say that she wanted to. She said she wanted to be the chief of staff of the most important man in IBM. It came from her lips, and it went straight into God's ear. And she got that job. She had to work. She was the chief of staff, actually, for the most important man in IBM. She is an African, and that role is a very enviable role. Who said she could ever get it? But she took it, and it came to pass. There's this other lady that I know, Mrs. Jacqueline Benying. She is currently the MD for Enterprise Life. We know Enterprise Insurance, right? It was on a gathering like this, and I think she was emceeing one of their annual programs, and she said that she would be an MD one day. And it came. She spoke, and it went straight into God's ears with her lips. These are the positive and powerful things that words can do. What are you speaking into your life? What is it that God has said into your life? That He would keep His angels charge over you. This is what you have to say. He says He will bless you when you go out. He will bless you when you come in. And this is what you must speak into your life. What else won't He give you? To give you places and give you a title of honor. He will make you take over territories. So speak the word in your life. The word is word, and it is powerful. So instead of spending your time to say all the things that goes on around you, whether it is your business or not, spend that time professing good things into you. Speak it from your mouth. Or use those lips to speak it, and let it go straight into God's ear. One day it will come to pass, and you have to do it consistently, prayerfully, and with faith. And by faith we can move mountains. That is what the word of God says. How much do we believe it? When we are sick, to what extent are we talking about yo? Hey, Mitzi, this migraine, this ulcer, this my leg. Hey, you alone, you have everything. Please. If the leg is probably is just telling you, do a bit of exercise. So just do exercise. You are praising for it. Dare to dream. And dream big. Have the audacity to dream. Because people are dreaming and it is working for them. Please, your dreams, speak it. Let's learn to speak. We should use our words positively. Let's learn to speak what we are dreaming. Because when you're speaking to, you need to be careful. It's not everybody that you share your dreams with. Though. Some are thieves. They will steal your dreams away. But speak your dreams to people who would support you. Even if they can't support you, they can just encourage you or listen to you and probably give you maybe 1 or 2 advices. Speak your dreams and praise God about it. Again, like I said, have the audacity to dream big. And when you dream big. Because they say that when your dream does not scare you, it is not really a dream. Let us have dreams that scares us, that we don't know what to do. Then we look up to God and say, God, this is the dream. With my human understanding, I don't know how, but I know that I have placed it in your hands. Let your word concerning my life come to pass. And we keep talking about it every day, prayerfully, believing God and working towards it. Speak it. Don't keep it in. Let us learn to meditate. So when you're speaking, you are believing it. You are dreaming it. It is in your heart. You are loving it every day. Like Jacqueline said, I want to be that MD. I want to be the MD of this company. And you keep on talking about it. And you keep on praising God about it. Please meditate on it. Internalize it. Let us learn to journal our stuff. Journaling. Write. We don't like writing because we don't like reading. So it naturally feels that if you write, how are you going to read? You see, when we were younger, we did keep things like, how do we call it? Not notepads.
Diary.
No, not diary. There was a word.
Jota.
Not jota. You know, that secret thing that it's like, yeah, jotters though, or diary. I think it's diary. And then, you know, the girls will go and write their boyfriend stuff and all the kokonsa stuff. We know, they know themselves, or we know ourselves. You go and write it in it. I don't know how many men also kept diaries, but diaries are good. Write your thoughts in, write your dreams in, because you see, sometimes as you sit, the Holy Spirit will drop something in your heart, in your mind. Write it down. You may be going through difficulties, or you may forget it entirely. When you pick it up, wow, this is what I wrote. And then you get back into it and you are thinking about it and you are working towards it. If you don't write it, you are human. You can forget it and then the years will pass you by. Let us learn to journal. It is really important. It is really good. And once you start writing something, the others flow and then you are building upon it. So you know that at this point in time of my life, this is what I want to do. I always go back, review it and see whether I have to add or minus or what is happening. Let us learn to ask for help when we need it. Asking for help are words. Please, I need this help. It is word. Bible says, ask and it shall be given. Seek and you will find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. And it goes on and on. So please, ask is a word. Go and ask. So for example, I am a woman. I'm a mother. I have my family back at home. If somebody is not taking care of my kids at this moment, I wouldn't be able to be here. So if somebody is offering to help me, probably go to the market, should I say no? Or if I don't even have anybody asking to help me, I should ask, can you please help me do this? Oh, I'll send you the money. It is help. Ask for help when you need it. In the office, when you need to work, please lay down your pride. Ask for help. If you don't understand, ask somebody to help you understand or guide you. Let us ask. It is powerful. Let us learn to reverse our negative words. We have said a lot of negative things. We all do. Once in a while, you forget yourself. But when we are intentional about what we choose to say, and then one moment we forget ourselves, and then we say something negative, please go and reverse it. Oh, I did say it, but hey, God, forgive me. Instead of that, my leg, I would rather say that I think I see an improvement in my leg. Thank you, Jesus, because I know that you have healed me and I would keep on working until I experience your full healing. I'm going to walk to that place because I need to get that contract. In this, my legs, Holy Spirit, carry my legs to that place. You are reversing it in a way. Let us learn to do that. And let us learn to say no. No is a word. It is a powerful tool. If we learn to say it rightly, it will do us a lot of good. Sometimes it's difficult for us to say no because we feel that we don't want to hurt the other person, but you are hurting yourself. So it is an impact, a negative impact on your life. I was in a certain session, a self-care session, and the facilitator was like, you see, sometimes you have to lie. It didn't make sense to me because, you know, as a child of God, why are you lying? I was like, look, wait, let me explain to you. Sometimes, given the situation, okay, you have to learn to manage it. So for example, you're on phone and you realize that the person who is talking to you is just talking about a lot of people and a lot of things that is not really necessary, and you have something else more important to do. So the example she gave was like, oh, okay, I think somebody's at the door. Please let me call you back, okay? You have ended it nicely, respectfully. Is there any issue?
No.
But you see, if you say, oh, you are talking too much, I can't, you have destroyed the relationship as well, because each one has weaknesses, same as you and me. So we need to just learn to manage it, but learn to say no. If you have to say it aloud, say it when it matters, but you need to use wisdom and discernment, okay? If you have to say it quietly, even with a smile, you know we communicate with our smile. Yeah. So no, I think I would understand when you are smiling, because I know that, So for example, in my executive meeting with my bosses, and then we're like, okay, my MD was like, I did put up an issue. It was like, Anita, the way you are smiling, you're not happy with my response. I'm like, and I kept smiling. He knew very well that I didn't like what he said, okay? But of course, I cannot disrespect him. But he knew that my smiling was a disapproval of what he was saying. And he knew it, and that's it. In the end, he knows I don't want what he said. It's no. So let us learn to say it, and say it boldly and clearly. But know who you are communicating to, and communicate such that though you have said what you need to say, you are not killing the person with your word, because not everybody is strong to receive a certain information. No can break somebody down. But if you say it in a nice way, the person will appreciate and respect you, because in a way you have also helped the person, okay? Let us learn also to do self-assessment. All these ones are words. When you're doing self-assessment, you know, in the corporate environment, we do something we call SWOT analysis. You're looking at the strengths of the company, you're looking at the weakness, you're looking at the opportunities, and then the threat. Let us do an internal one for ourselves. I should ask, what is my strength? I could probably ask a few of you who know me, tell me what you think is my strength. Okay, it doesn't mean I don't know my strength. But if I get from you, and I get from you, and I get from you, okay. So it means that that is it. And strength is a word. So then I use it. If this is my strength, then I'm going to do more of it. So in doing more, it helps me. I grow. I have used it. It is a word. So please do your self-assessment. Know your areas of weakness, and then improve upon it. They are all words, and we need to practice it very well. We need to choose wisely. You see, as a society, we have been conditioned to talk about our frustrations, which are words, our problems, our challenges. We say this all the time, and this and that. We talk about a lot of things to everyone. The more you talk about it, the more people believe it is true about you. Are you the only one who comes from a poor home? Are you the only one hungry and you are eating gari? You are not alone, no. But is this what you really want to be telling people? That your husband is beating you, he's maltreating you, and in the workplace they are favoring somebody else and not you. Somebody probably ask you, so you now, what is wrong about you that people don't like you and they are maltreating you? But you are telling, so again, you are telling people everything about you, and they tend to believe everything you have told them, and they will treat you the way you have asked them to treat you, because you are some way. So they also treat you with that little respect or no regard at all. So let us learn to stop sharing things about us negatively. If you think you have 10 things about you and 9 are negative, please look for that one that is positive. Definitely there's a positive thing.
Yes.
Even a drunkard, that reminds me, you know, when I was in school, there was this lecturer that we had. He was a good lecturer though, okay, but he enjoyed alcohol. So early morning, he'll come to lectures, and but one day he was like, Anita, you are very intelligent. I looked at him. Drunkard? Say I'm intelligent? What I'm trying to say that even everyone has something. Look at madmen. Okay, there was this madman that I met many years ago. And then he saw a man beating a woman on the street. It was a mate and a passenger. oh, he put his dirty stuff aside and he dealt with the maid. Why was he beating the woman? So the madman even has his own strength, in as much as he's a madman. So if your negatives, if you have 10 things and 9 of them are negatives, please drop it down. Take down one positive and communicate it. Let people treat you with the good things that you project yourself. Because if you don't do that, they will treat you anyhow. These are words. So learn what to say. Also, what the negative things you tell people, you also admit it. Okay? That this is who you are, and it keeps hurting you and it keeps destroying your life, so you're unable to do anything about it. So stop admitting it for yourself and work on it. So the moment you start working on one strength, you'll be able to identify another strength and you'll be able to work on it. Words, please work on them. Learn something. I am. Affirm your own self. I am confident. I am a woman of strength. I am a man of strength. I am intelligent. I am strong. I can do this. I can do that. Not I can't. Because when you say I can't, you have shut yourself. You've limited yourself. But when you say you can, even though you know you cannot, you begin to ask yourself, so what can I do to get that? You begin to think. Thinking are words because you are putting words together in your thought process, like we defined it in the beginning. You think. But when you shut yourself in, and you don't say the right words, I am, I can, nothing happens. You have closed yourself up. Meanwhile, you are full of potential, waiting to give to somebody, waiting to bless somebody, and you alone, you are there. Are you that selfish? We shouldn't be. We should think more of somebody, the extent to which we can be a blessing onto some other person. So we should not limit ourselves, because we have been fashioned to grow and to bless. Multiply, that is the word. Not only producing babies, multiply in everything. And let us learn to speak from the heart. You see, usually we say these negative words because we are afraid of somebody, or we are afraid of what people might think about us, the perceptions. It shouldn't be. We speak out of fear, but let us speak out of our heart, out of love. So if the things that are in your heart are positive and they are good, that is what you speak out. So let us learn to feed ourselves with the good things that we should, and not to be speaking out of a place of fear. We need to learn to make the right choices with our right words, you know. That is why we have to be mindful of what we say, because what you can take, somebody will not be able to take it, and it can take the person many years to recover from just that one word. Meanwhile, you are free and you are gone. Why would we do that to that person? Words that are said, most often, we don't forget. We can only forgive. But you remember that person said that to me. I can't be bothered today. It has no hold over my life today. But that is what he said at that time. Because the situation will present itself and you will remember, but you cannot forget. So why don't you say something that is positive for people to remember about you? Do we always want people to remember the wrong things about us? Words. Words are so free, but how you use them can cost you. It can cost you your finances in legal suits, because they tell you, be careful what you say. It can cost you your health, because you have said things to yourself, or you have cursed somebody, or somebody has cursed you because you've hurt that person. Words. You know, when it rains, okay, sometimes thunder also comes, and then lightning, but then water pours. All of this, it is the water that makes the flowers to grow, not the thunder. So let us learn to raise our words, the positive words, and not the voice. The human tongue, they say it is a beast, but only few can master it. That is applying wisdom. It's not easy relating with people. We all know, because we human beings are not easy to be managed. Even you yourself cry, it's difficult to manage yourself sometimes, and you wonder why you did something, and you wonder, hey, I have done this. I'm even so shocked. I'm so embarrassed. I didn't even know I could do this. I didn't even know I could say it. Wow. How much more dealing with people? It's difficult. So please, let us learn to be patient, apply wisdom, and discernment before we say things. Because this tongue that we have, it has no bone. I don't know who has a bone in the tongue, but it is so powerful such that it can break a heart. Yes. You know, our hearts get broken in different ways, not just from love relationships. Even in the office, your boss can break your heart in the sense that what belongs to you probably might have gone to somebody, or you might have been abused wrongly or something. Your heart is broken from the tongue. Somebody might have said something deceitful about you or wrong about, told a lie about you. The tongue. Let us be careful. And you see, we those who talk, or we just forward any text message, we just say anything just because we have to show up, just because we have to be seen. When you talk a lot, you become boring because there's nothing more to say. And so when you come around, people will like to shy away from you. So please don't be boring. Be exciting. Let people see you and want to be in your company, because there is something good they will want to hear from you and pick from you, because you are adding value to their lives. So stop saying a lot of things. And don't mix bad words with bad moods. Okay? Because as for the moods, we will have a lot of opportunities to correct it. But the words that you have said, it's like, you know, the words are like seeds, but it's not planted on the ground that you could just uproot and throw away. It is planted in the heart. So let us be careful the words that we use to our own selves and to others. It hurts the heart, not the ground. Proverbs 13 verse 3 says that the one who guards his mouth preserves his life. The one who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Just a few scriptures more so you understand, so we are guided. Proverbs 15 verse 1 says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Sometimes the thing will be paining you. I will tell her, let me tell her my peace of mind. And you will say it until you are free, because it means the man can't on top. Or the man can be free. The man can free. It can't why then. You will end up ruining that relationship. That friendship could have helped you grow, but you have ruined it with your words. Let us learn to be careful. There's one that really tickles me. Proverbs 25:11. It says that like apples of gold in settings of silver is a word spoken in right circumstances. Like apples of gold in settings of silver is a word spoken in right circumstances. It means that you need to speak it right at the right time. Proverbs 25:25 says that like cold water to a weary soul is good news from a distant land. Hey, you have been struggling in Yedi Benindi, in Yimde wo febi wo kwanten tibido. Na today we were fancying the send us a call. Hey, Miss School Fees, yeah. It's good. That is what words does to us. Okay. Proverbs 29:20 says that, do you see a man who is hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. So you think you are wise and you are quick to speak because for you can talk. We are in class, okay? And there's a question. You are the only intelligent person. Yes, God has given it to you, granted. Every question, you raise up your hand, you answer. You raise up your hand, you answer. There is nothing wrong with that. But that my sister sitting over there, Nala onyimdo onyimushe. Nebiana e kropen obotum wa atem, because Ebiana, she is struggling with confidence and she's unable to. But you now you want to show off because awala e yogboro. At least give her that little chance for her to raise her hand and for the answer to be correct. Don't also feel their own. Say, Mumboning them, I'm okay. And for her confidence to start growing and for her to start maximizing her own potential. Okay? So then, let us try and then manage it all. Then 1 Peter 3:10 says, if you want to enjoy life and see many happy days, keep your tongue from speaking evil and your lips from telling lies. Hey, we tell lies, so small lies. It doesn't matter whether it's a small lie or a big lie. However you quote it, it is a lie. So let us keep our tongue from it. And then Proverbs 15:20 says that the heart of the godly thinks carefully before speaking. So if God is your father, let him sit in the heart, who will stand up and convict you of wrong, so that you will be careful when you speak, because you will know that it has to glorify God. If it doesn't glorify God, what's your business in speaking those words? Because you will not benefit either. Whatever you say will come back to you. Let us understand that we are responsible for the words that we speak. Okay? The words we say will either acquit or condemn us. When you go to the law courts, they will tell you that be careful what you say, because it can be used against you. And let us know that we shall be held accountable. We shall be held accountable one day. Matthew 12:36 says that every careless word that people speak, we shall give an account of it. In the same way, if you have been given words to speak to somebody and you don't speak for the benefit of that person, you equally will be held accountable. So to conclude, please, let us learn to speak less with man, but more with God. So in situations that are difficult, please, it's better to go and use your lips, speak to God's ears, than to be complaining to people, than to be chatting with people. The time that you use in chatting, chat with God and maximize your time. Don't ever underestimate the power of your words, and don't use faithless words in your difficulties. Make no mistakes, your words are very powerful. They carry a lot of energy, they have creative power, just like God created heaven and earth. And don't forget, we were created in his likeness. So what we say carries weight and power. So when we say it, it will come to pass. Let us begin to take control of our lives by taming our tongue and by intentionally controlling what we say, except anything that comes from God. And then we watch how all these things come to play in our lives. Thank you.
And as Obia Enyebele, Obia Yenimpa, that can do something better in life. But before we come to the section of, you giving and we answering, I would like to invite Mr. Please forgive me. This one, I always forget. I don't know why. Engineer Francis is standing to also give us something short. Then he will take a seat. Then we will have the section of you give and you answer questions, and then they will help with answers. But before he takes the microphone, I would like to invite our lady to join us at the high table, so we can, she can also help us to, answer some of the questions. Let's welcome Miss Eva Shita Kuma to join us. Please let's welcome her. Please, let's clap. She has more, but that's how she is. She doesn't want to, she's not always like that. But to want her to talk about, she has a lot in her that she can share with us. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Mr. God. Yes, Mr. What is it time?
Taking notes, and Charlie, many of our best 10 pages. I know it will really help us. We are really blessed. At least, dear Madam Anita, and Yaka can be brave about the power of words, and may share a little story we had, because the baby Myanmar will be our chance now. Will be a question of contribution. Yeah, the little story. Junior. There is no way to make a negative assessment because I've come to realize that if that's not a woman, whatever you call a 10, so shall it be. Be out there, friend, at some even say a some crowd too. Not general, not Obetini approach say, I did ready there. And another opportunity for me to move on. And I know say I have greater things ahead of me. Even that conviction now will be not there. I make this declaration. So what catch on who's media? Like media deal with the minyakura mewa. People want to you all the customer you honorable. I think it's a car radio and hey, car radio do me feel sentimental. Yeah, man is again. Oh, like you know, who but the hey, carry them to be mistake. That's what we cry the man the cry say. Oh, you see, like in India, they are no effect. But with this program, about time I say, you tell me my tea and what I say. Like, and quantity of work depend. That I mean, how it will be. So when they were the 2 and a castle, maybe radio no do the woman, or no also do the you know, I tell you. But the nipa radio on yet. Now what Juma ban oh my dear papa. Me one how can you feel? But the mention wanka, your bestima. And look at now kind of crowd bestima, but a man your bestima by force. You see how it works? Yes. Some of these little things we are talking about, like rest, be declared it comes to pass. Be declared yes, say you're careful with the mind. Dream be idea you may not have the money, you may not have the resources, but if it is God's will, it is God's will. And whatever God orders for, He pays for. It's just about you making the declarations, you saying positive stuff for yourself, and no can. And yes, what can you know? Your words must follow actions. You need not to judge a tree by the words, by what it says, but the fruit that it bears. That's what I say. Yes. And you know, going forward, there's an avenue for us. Start all over. There's an avenue. Say, be like and some be a catch. The thing very simple. Now you stay on positive. I know, sir. You better blessed. We are giving you the opportunity, question or question, then we carry on from. Thank you very much.
Like you want to go, but it's not working. Do you understand? There are so many, aside you going for prayers, the pastor praying for you, physical things too must be done. And that is why we are having this conference this evening. Because power of words, Archbishop Duncan Williams, yes, they will give us a biblical view. But we also need a physical view. So that going up the spiritual side, we don't need physical view. So there's a point I want you to come out, to be all loud and say it. Maybe there's something that you have been saying to yourself over years, time after time, but you are still struggling to let that shit come into reality. It's not necessarily what somebody has said to your life, but you are saying something to yourself. Like Auntie Anita was saying that Jackie was saying to herself that she wants to be an MD of a particular company. She's been saying it to herself. But as to making it come into reality, she needed to get some people to coach her, to get more insight from some people, so that she will add to whatever she's. To make that decision,
I was able to gather myself. Like honestly, I lost my self-esteem, self-confidence, not anymore. Though I had dreams, like I had aspirations, things that I want to do. But because of that thing I see, I lost my self-esteem. So I was like, so how am I even going to go back to that? Now let me dive it a little bit back. SHS, Miss SHS. I won. And then I did teenage pregnancy. And then during the teenage pregnancy, it's like I wanted to be a doctor. Instead, we used to say, it's doctor, and it's here, my name is doctor. I want you to get this thing very short. Miss SHS, I won, and then that is what I portrayed. Like, said, "Mom, we met, and I'm here, so I wanted to become a nurse myself. So from there, my next stage is I've given birth without getting married. I've not accomplished my dreams, aspirations, the things that I want to do, mainly. So it will drive me back, and I'll think if they are a curse. But it's the words from our mouth. It's the things that we say. Now after that, it's when you move and I say, oh, for me, there is no way. I say, negative things can make it come. Every back balance. That means that I can't do anything about my life. Then trust me, I wouldn't have even done a single thing that I've been able to do now. Sometimes it is not really sitting down and waiting for someone to come and tap you and tell you that, hey, you need to get up and do this. No, you have to be determined. Someone can, Madam Anita can come and tell me, say, Eva, I come in here conference for me. She has done her part by approaching me. What about myself? If I am not determined, if I am not ready, if I don't want to accomplish something in life, and the people will be there and they'll be saying, oh, then yeah, entrepreneurship talk, say people are not doing it. No. We are talking to people. We might be here. Madam Anita might talk to me in as much as she can. Like, hey, wait to me, I can't say, but if myself, I am not determined, I am not ready to get up and do something for myself, it is never going to happen. So when you see someone at a very tender age and the person has accomplished something, the best you can do is to sit yourself down, look at the things you did wrong, and then correct them. When you correct them, trust me, you're going to reach like higher heights than the people that are your role models and all those things. To get back to your question, you asked, so if you have something that you want to do, and then you go to who is the right person to talk to. Trust me, I had a similar encounter. I wanted to host this show, Let's Talk Day. Our media personality, media guy here was part of the people who shot the pilots for me. Trust me, we went through every process that we were supposed to do. We went through every process. We shot the pilot, and then it was just then I didn't hear right. The person that we were working with told us that my episode, just imagine, where are we going to start from? Then I went to someone, the person is a very big personality, and as I mentioned the name, it might be even a topic, so we still get Korean concepts. And I watched it on television, I see that particular show being shown on TV.
Wow.
I went to this person, I sat the person down. I have videos of me and the person in the person's home. I sat the person down and I said, that's a good person here. How are you going to help me? And they had a branch station here in Japan. So I saw one branch manager like Asani, and I was like, okay, at least first if I came home, I spoke to my parents and said, I'm not standing home, I'm saying, I was there, I was calling, she wasn't picking up and all those things. I felt it was one of those things. I was there. Then someone approached me and said, I think now sure the one person starting here. I have hopes that because I have visited her and then she has portrayed that she helps people, definitely I will get a call from her. I was there, I wasn't having any call or anything as I didn't move on. So we started shooting a lot of episodes and all those things. Now, I contacted her again and then she told me that, oh, you're working on it, I need to work on myself. I accepted the fact that I needed to work on myself. Probably that time I started making my phone for anything. So I started working on myself gradually. I contacted the person who I was like, okay, I'm relaxing, I'm waiting. Yes. Now I was there and I saw this TV station showing it, giving it a different name, but it was the same thing, the same content. How would you feel? So you can talk to people, you can open up and talk to people, but don't get the idea that the person is going to help you. No. So when you reach the person, don't give the person the full content. Yes. I felt that, oh, I've seen somebody that I can confide in, so let me just open up. You open up and then the person will use what you did against you.
Yes.
Say, if you are weak to be now, they think you are weak. So first of all, before you go to someone and talk to the person about what you want to do, make sure you've made some steps. Like what when the number to talk. And to say, so you are on, like you're on your feet. If not, because oh, person me here is happen. Oh, I didn't know. They said you happen people. Why didn't someone come person day? And then I just said they see share my baby. Just tell the person that when you might have person way, would you be back home? But so you're ready. Yes, sign the paper. Yes. The person is asking you that because what you want, ma, or pay but if you still win now, they hear you. What your person won't find be a woman. On Friday now, I saw the move. But the similar thing they do. And because the person is out there already, it's very easy for the person to get there than 1 hour again. There is no way if I stand here and then say, standing when I'm not catching me, what would you like? It's one of those days you say, or per se, or be famous like that. Do you understand? But I have people that knew that I was going to help. So all that I would want to add is, before you want someone to help you, be determined, be focused. That is one. 2, whatever thing you say today, years to come, even if you don't die, they will come back to you, whether positive or negative. I had a dream that I was standing in front of people and talking to them. So I felt the guy that I met he's dead now. And that time, he was called Sanusi. I was like, Sanusi, because you know about the shady and me, and the first time I catch him and said, oh, I knew he was dead. So I just went outside and there's a woman living on the NASA warden in a dream. My first time I stood in front of people like that, it was the same platform that I saw. It was a teaching on auditorium. I realized that there was SHS students and the place was full. And I was standing there and I was talking to them, then I reflected. I went back, I sat and I cried. For me, when people ask me what do I want to do, I'm like, though I have a son, we have events, whatever thing that we do and all those things, that is not what I really want to do. I want God to bless me. One day I will set people down, not to just talk to them, make sure that before we leave, there has been an impact, there has been a return. And I know one day God is going to help me and then it's going to come to pass. I know He's going to come to pass. So if I had told myself after bed that, like things will be messed up for who is even into society critics and all those things. It is even from family. Yeah. I wouldn't have even been able to accomplish it. And my last thing that I would add is please, social media is fake.
Yes.
Social media is fake. Don't let anyone intimidate you.
Yeah, don't be under pressure.
Don't be under pressure. Me, I always tell myself, no matter where I will get to, I want to be able to get down, even if I'm driving one of the biggest cars in the world, I want to be able to get down and go and buy my brother to tune in and I meet people, and then sometimes I meet people and they're like, into one even. I'm like this. If I have, I have. I always tell myself, say, when they talk in your mind, I'd rather build, I'd rather do something. So the least money you get, invest it in yourself. And then speak positive things into your life. And trust me, they will come back to you like it's like a dream. You are your own miracle. You are your own Jesus Christ. You are your own, like just name the positive things that you think people are looking at. You are that particular person. Thank you very much.
I never knew she's a master. I've been away from her until I need to see. I told you she has something in the empathy. There are a lot of people like that too. They have a lot of stuff that when they share to both of us, to people, people's life will get transformed. But hey, you're not saying it because, like she's saying, when you saw a baby, good big. But because she hasn't gotten the platform, she's still dreaming. But not thinking that the little platform she will get or utilizing the well, like it will generate that great platform. So you are still taking your questions. You have small minutes to go. Please ask because say next month. Next month.
Yeah, next 2 weeks.
So that's next month.
Yes.
So 2 weeks, you can do something with this thing. Like this section, you can do something with it. Honestly speaking, forget about societal critical. And not there, it's there. Criticize all. That's what because we have all the degrees, the masters, the PhDs and all that today, but you're still not doing anything. Especially when you find yourself in your parents' house, now you're Bema. They say, for so I share that news, so you understand? But the things that you're saying to yourself that you want to become and you're not able to, you make it into reality. These are the things that we want you to say, so that our beautiful panel will help you utilize them, so that it will come to reality. Because trust me, they say, I'm going to COVID-19, so I'm going to be a one. But let me say that you have some people who have joined us on Facebook, and you need to acknowledge them. The first person to be acknowledged she's the first lady of Etwani everything. Etwani group of companies, yes. She's Mrs. Elizabeth Ama Etwani. Actually, so let's start with. She's sharing it too. We have Emma Anderson. She's also live. She's watching us. We have Patrick Enimel Arthur. Or say it's solid. I know say after you give your call. So yeah, we have Mark Bernard Paulson is watching us. Justice Abraqua is watching us. Esther Yen Chio is also watching us. So please, they say every day, you have to forgive because it's not my name. So I will definitely get it wrong. Yeah, so let's not taking the questions.
I think we are making this thing very official, like as in you guys are there, we are a panel, and then you are sitting there, and then it's like, we are not making it very conversational. I would love us to come a bit forward because we want to make it very conversational, like we want to talk to ourselves. So can you kindly come forward a bit so that when she brings the microphone to you, you can communicate to her? Because I want us to leave here with some like really positive impact. I mentioned that.
Yes.
Please, can you come? So she can sit here. Okay. Like here is okay. Okay. So I mentioned that I have a beauty salon. So I didn't learn it anywhere. Growing up, I had it on my fingertips. Like I can just hold my mom's hair and then I'll be braiding the hair. When I sleep, then I'll be braiding cornrow. I'll get up and then I'll have to find the hair and then try it on it. So when I was in school, I was just braiding the sleeves, their hair and taking them to feel myself again. So we are all here, we are entrepreneurs, right? Or probably we have something in mind to do. So Amma, I want you to go around. What we are going to do is it's very conversational. I know you're working with Etwani, but probably you have your own things that you want to do. So what I want us to do is that just be open. Anything that you have in mind that you want to do, or something that you are doing now, maybe you can ask certain things about it.
It's also your contribution.
Good. Before I give the microphone to her, if you have any passion that you're doing, I would love to work with passion. He spoke to me sometime back. The first time I met him, he said he loved cars. So then he started selling it, and then now see where he is. So tell us, feel free for us. I won't tell your things to you. Maybe someone on social media watching us might, but for me, I wouldn't do it for that. Yeah, I have a lot in mind that so, and she wants so just open up. If you have something, if you want to start selling water or something, like say it. Probably she has money. Probably she might want to link it to one or two people. He might. I don't have links, but maybe I have some one or two people that I can link it to. So just be open. Speak the things that probably you want to do. That's the few minutes left. Let's make it very conversational.
Genius is small, yes, and let me just add to it that when you go for programs like this, it's an opportunity to grow. Okay, so let's not let it go waste. Probably before you come, you get prepared that I want to benefit fully. So probably these are the areas I'm looking at. If they don't touch on it, I'm going to ask. So come fully prepared, open up, wanting to get everything or wanting to get the most of what we can. Sometimes we limit ourselves by not doing that. And you realize that you come, you don't think about anything.
You just come to listen. It's good to listen. But because you didn't come prepared, you have no questions to ask, you go back, oh, probably I should have asked about this. And you may not get that opportunity to meet those people maybe again. But it could have been something that could have done a bit good in your life. And we all human beings here, we just happen to be seated here. We all just like you. So let us feel free. If there's something you want to share, it probably could be a story of your life, maybe a short one. We are all here to benefit from one another. So just feel free. Thanks.
The way you are smiling to me, I say you want to say something.
Okay, mine would be a question. If you're already in something that is really working for you, but then you realize it is not what you've been dreaming of since you were young, like our sister said, is it worth stopping what you are doing to follow that dream, or do you still have to stay with what you are doing? I want to use David's story as an example. He was a good shepherd. He was doing perfectly well over there. But then God had a different plan for him. Okay. And so God brought him from the forest or wherever he was with the sheep, and then he made him the king. So if you use this story as an example, is it worth stopping what you are doing to follow your dreams, though you are doing well in it?
Okay, so Mr. Shane.
Okay. Yes, engineer. Well, I'm a classmate too.
Okay.
Or a
Senior
man.
engineer.
Okay. And he said the work already. Like sometimes, America said there's a difference between your job and your work. Your job are the things that you will do that at a point in time will be making you money. But your work may be your giftings, the things that you're born to do. And most of the time, we say your job prepares you for your work. There is some new principle that I'm even trying to teach people. That, especially, so be school, when your opportunity to work in a firm, that shouldn't be your end point. You shouldn't stop there. Because that is not what God showed you. You get it? That is not your destination. But it's an avenue for you to prepare yourself towards your work. That is your giftings, things that you are passionate about. Sometimes with my office, a change mobile office, I can stay there. You see, there are some educations who are the two times that after most workers they do Sunday, you bring us a day of a check Monday. Not that headache. It's never be Monday and apart from 6 to 8 now, be pressure. Because that time I dream you be free. So you may be at a work or you may be at a job, it will be fetching you or when it's already safe. But now the new safe is taking risk and the new risk is playing it safe. You see? So once the thing is not what say you are passionate about. Now, fine, it's good to be on jobs. It's good to be doing some things at the income, but with it all, you should be able to move into your work, and no one can retire you from your work. No one can sack you from your work, especially the things that are indoors, the things that because trapped in the tree, as I always say, trapped in the seed is the tree. No one can tell the seed, say, I won't grow, provided you put it in the right environment. Definitely, trapped in the bed is flying. No one can tell the bird to go to flight school before you can fly. You see, it's good you are able to identify your giftings and you move into it. Especially from 20 to 30, as I always say, you find a good boss who can discipline you, coach you. From 30 to 40, you try some new things for yourself. Then you try to identify your giftings. You try to identify the good things that are in you that you need to bring out, because only you have that idea. There are some ideas here. Maybe there may be different schools around, but you have the idea to bring out the school with a new curriculum that will teach about things that are not being taught in our ordinary schools. If you don't bring it to life, like no one can do it. So you will die. The last time I said leaf will die empty. On one of my school pages, a guy was arguing with me that you don't know, the parameters with which you are going to, calculate or something like that. I was like, no, every giftings you have in you, you should be able to bring it out. Because God deposited that one in you to save a life. You don't know where someone is going to benefit from that idea. This conference we are having is something that we had a passion to bring to life for people to enjoy. And we did it. But in one way or the other, this conference can save a life. Because maybe some of these things doesn't attract like that 1 million views or whatever. But even one person, that one word from, let's say, from Mrs. Anita, from Eva, or from any of us coming, can transform that person's mind and it will save that person. Because Obia and I so the people are born this year and the my man ended my life. Obia is so my man compare and serving no problem to try. But just a single word, so I say it be behind your media show. It's up to you to bring it to life. And you can say what dreaming about, say, oh, it's not to me, and Master, she said it. You just believe it. You say positive things for yourself and you take action. You don't just say the positive stuff and we are not part of that. So what I said. I remember I said about 10 years ago, I made a 10-year life plan. And lo and behold, that time I'm joining police service. Every single thing I wrote down, talking about the diary in general, stuff now. Every single thing I wrote down, after joining police service, I should be able to go to school. I should be able to pursue course in mechanical engineering. SME company, I should be settled by then with my family. I should have my house, all those stuff. Yet I tell you, it's just like magic. And today I said, we have to come out and be a I told myself that by then I said, to for some countries, and almost everything came to pass. So it was 2020 that I did my another 10 years, life plan up to 2030. It may be our better amount, we are the best when it's possible. It will come to pass. Then the hands will be too much more. And you can't take God out of the picture. You get it? Many are the plans in a man's heart. But it's God's purpose that will prevail.
Yeah.
So you just make sure that it's in alignment with what God has in store for you, and you achieve it. Thank you.
Yes, we have another question. Okay.
With the question he asked, I just want to say that whatever you are doing, you should love it.
Yes.
Once you love it, you are consistent with it. So I think that's what.
Anyway, she's also a teacher at Archbishop Cortez.
Oh, okay. That's where I am. So okay, on market book house me and
on market from.
So we are.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to add?
Oh, you want to answer the question?
Yeah. It's a 10 years plan.
Sure.
Yeah, man, 1 week.
Okay.
At what time would it be appropriate to leave your job?
Okay.
Okay, so let's proceed.
Okay,
so I wanted to even add up and then
okay.
ask the question. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what does it take for you to start what you want to do? Because if you are working somewhere and you're earning 800 cedis a month, and then your projects or whatever thing, your dream that you want to accomplish, it takes like 10,000 or 20,000 Ghana cedis to even start it. Then you should ask yourself, have you saved enough? Is it Michelle Daniels or something? She's a model now. She was in the bank, like I said, a cashier or something, but she was working with the bank. And then she realized that it's not working for her. Then she left. For her, she just wanted to be a model. So she didn't really need money to start that thing. But before you leave your work, make sure that you have saved enough to start. And then moreover, you can even work at the same time, accomplish that. It depends on what you want to do. If it is something that you think, now there is social media, if it is something that you think you can work for someone and at the same time accomplish that thing, then you can start bit by bit. But when you think that now you need more attention, you've gained enough experience under your courses, where you work and all those things, and then now you think you've gathered enough money, you are experienced enough, you've gotten all the guidelines and everything, you can put the energy you've put into someone's work into yours. So I think first of all, you need to make sure that you're financially okay, and then experience, like gotten enough experience before you embark on it.
Okay. Okay, I think I have this. To add to Madam Eva Ekana, you know, I said, your job prepares you for your work.
Yes.
So one person won't be with you, man. But be our any opportunity you do it and do it to the extent. So even when you leave, we can see there is a vacuum. But he will leave his job, and no one will even recognize that there was someone ever like this who was even working at this session. You get the point? Then with it all, as I said, with that philosophy that I was talking about, when you get employment, it's an avenue for you to prepare yourself. You work hand in hand with your giftings, with the things that you want to be doing. There are people who are, because said they are not ready to do it, God will cause crisis to come. God can even cause you to lose your job. But when you lose your job, that's the time that you should know that, okay, there's an avenue for me to also start something. Because even within the job, I'm going to start baby along the line, hand in hand. Taking myself, for example, way back, coming down to Takrady as a police officer, I realized, okay, like I was fortunate enough, whether the mom is our old Benz, I sold it, they started a car and and I was also helping other people sell their cars. That one didn't take much, I just have a rent a shop, another just my crazy. Just only you can just be chatting with friends and you'll be making business online. That's how I started. So you can what we are doing now, this kind of speaking programs like education, because folks here will be when you have knowledge, the world needs that knowledge. Maybe that field may be your passion, but you can go the extra mile by adding more value to it. It's those things now by hand in hand along the line, because you don't just wake up one day and say, oh, I just quit my job. It happens too, but you should make sure that you'll be able to get something along the line. You'll be working hand in hand. At a point in time, you realize that your work will be so demanding, you have to quit the other one. But already you've gathered the experiences, like disciplines, then you go into it. Like you say, coach you and that's a guide. Once what you gather those things, then life goes on. Because it's very brief, I always say that profits are better than wages. And jobs are things that sometimes every feed your dreams. Every feed your be a shame. That's what I say. Yes, it's about time. Now you try, now you put things together. Like we work from our heart, we do it and add value to it. It's not when you move into your own work completely, you can still move on, and you can even make reference to wherever you were working. Because you can't just mess up. You can't be a lazy guy or a lazy woman and expect say, oh, when say you'll be and be lazy. Now maybe me a that attitude, it will follow you in your own work. So it will follow you over there. And entrepreneurship we talked about is beautiful, but it entails a lot. As a worker, you don't care about whether snakes are being paid, you don't care about whether taxes are being paid, whatever consequences, you don't care. But if you become an entrepreneur and all those things become your responsibility, so it's another thing. At the end of the month, salaries must be paid, prepaid, all those things too comes into play. So you make sure that wherever you find yourself, you do it, with all your heart, you commit yourself to it, and the law of karma, it works. Whatever you do comes back to you. Thank you.
Let me be quick to add that yes, my colleagues have talked about planning your exit out. But don't forget also to be in tune with your own spirit and with the Spirit of God, because it's not one rule that fits all. For somebody, leaving may be a certain sign that you probably might have seen. For example, if you've heard about Uncle Abu White in Accra, he's a writer, he does theaters and stuff. At a point, he was fired, and it was big for him when he was much younger. For about 2 years or so, he wasn't getting anywhere to do. Then it became the real sign that he had to start his own. And that is how come today he has a name. Then he was frustrated and angry but today he is grateful. That is for him. Some other person may be different. David was being prepared to fight Goliath before he became a king. Yours may be different. So be in tune with your own spirit, still internalizing your dreams, and be in tune with God's spirit and his will for you. You would know it when it gets to that point when you have to call and quit. Yours probably may also be fun, but you will know it when you get there. Just be prepared all along.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've come to a point where David had to do the kids. Yes. Yes, because your toy venue, it's your time muscle, it's your say your home.
Yes, and next time I see a bantam.
Next time I see a bantam, and this is one man, those are best out. Oh.
But we are supposed to start exactly at 5.
Yes.
Then by 7 we close. So that 2 hours then they say yeah, papa.
Yes, so please next time he and I try to say we'll come in so that whatever questions, contributions that we have, we'll be able to let it out. So at this point, I think you see, you buy the very verse next time.
Just can we have the topic for the next 2 weeks so that we go to the program?
Okay, we will give you the topic before we finally.
You see, you have to come for special counseling. That's where you get all this. So please, yes, if you're watching us live too and you want more of these talks, you can still reach us on the same blog or contact Francis Etuani. Yes, you can get to us and we'll get you more talks. That's a special counseling, so you prepare and you come. Yes, you prepare. This one is free. This one is free. See, COVID, they even more a day, but we are trying to, help you. So help yourself. When you come for special counseling, don't want prepare and come. I mean, prepare in all angles and come. Yes, prepare and come and receive knowledge, wisdom, everything, son. Okay, so this is how we are going to end today's session. But then I'll call Junior Francis Etuani to give us his last words. Yes.
Anyway, yada obia say na yetimi baye ema eyefe, especially omo so omo ebi o US, ebi o UK, ebi o Kumasi, baby Accra, baby cancer road for ni adi nyina ewu obi a shema program so I think say yes each one get one. Like nyame ebo na baby obedu bia ni kwai say wonye bibia wi ansa na we give back to the society, but in one way or the other no enyeman kakra obetimi aye, because I know say it's about time we use our voice to inspire, we use our voice to encourage, we use our voice to develop others, because it will be very beautiful to see a army of strong entrepreneurs within the community and even within the whole nation, because so many unemployment rate near the Swatia, because imagine say we have a shop kakra, we have a juma way, you never employ anybody unemployment rate so better. It will give the youth also the opportunity to also start something, because I say youth go like uncle baby quiet, not the idea of the capital be the applicate in the home so abrabo. It's no yes the bishia na yes we are all learning from you. Obi or share any obi or contribute God's willing, 2nd of April will be our next session. The same venue, Takrade Energy Choice Mart, 5 to 7. Ntia do bia say obia by na obia so aye nhira e pass. Yes,
so a volunteer would help us in closing prayer.